Father, can I have your permission to commence the program? Thank you. Namaskar. Good morning, Professor Dr. Jyoti Chattopadhyay, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sister Nivedita University, Kolkata, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. John Felix Raj, fathers, faculty members, sisters, ladies and gentlemen, and my friends from the media. St. Xavier's University, Kolkata wishes Professor Dr. Jyoti Chattopadhyay, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sister Nivedita University, fathers, faculty members, sisters, staff members, ladies and gentlemen, happy feast of St. Francis Xavier 2020. Our patron, St. Francis Xavier, shall remain a source of inspiration to us for years to come. The magical words of St. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of Society of Jesus, I quote, "What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and yet loses his soul?" Unquote, has transformed this illustrious personality to reach out to the suffering humanity far and wide across the globe. Now, I would like to request Professor Dr. Jyoti Chattopadhyay, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sister Nivedita University, and Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. John Felix Raj, to please come on the dais. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Father. The marvelous work of St. Francis Xavier has even generated a tremendous impact on our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. John Felix Raj. He has attempted to put his humble thoughts of touching the lives of individuals through the 10th edition of his book entitled Waves Story Bank. He has also co-authored 9 books and has written numerous articles in journals, magazines, and newspapers. Indians are indeed blessed to have been gifted with a collection of stories since time immemorial, namely Thakurmar Jhuli, Jataka Tales, Tenali Rama, Chanda Mama, etc. No matter whether we are writing a biography or a novel, delivering a lecture or preaching a sermon, our lives revolve around the stories we have heard, we have read, and narrated. They make us human and teach us wisdom, and every one is a story, and every story belongs to someone. Justin Musk says, I quote, "Whoever shares the greatest stories rules the world," unquote. So kindly rise, we shall be playing a prayer, Vande Sachidananda. Today being a very auspicious day, we remember the God Almighty for everything God has given us. A time to thank God for keeping all of us alive and to be present here for this auspicious occasion.
Vande Satchidanandam, Vande, Vande Satchidanandam, Vande, Vande Satchidanandam, Vande, Vande Satchidanandam, Vande, Yogi Vanchita, Yogi Vanchita, Charamapadam, Vande, Vande, Yogi Vanchita, Yogi Vanchita, Charamapadam, Vande, 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 वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे परमपुराणपरात्परं पूर्णमखण्डपरावरं परमपुराणपरात्परं पूर्णमखण्डपरावरं त्रिसङ्गशूद्रं सङ्गभूतं दुर्वेदं वन्दे त्रिसङ्गशूद्रं सङ्गभूतं दुर्वेदं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे पितृसवित्री परमेशमजं भववृक्षं बीजं बीजम् अखिलकारणमीक्षणसृजन विश्वेश्वं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे अनाहतशब्दमनन्तं प्रसूतपुरुषसुमहन्तं पितृस्वरूप चिन्मयरूप येशुख्रिस्तं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे सच्चिदुर्मिलनशरणं शुभस्वशीदानन्दघनं पावन जवन वाणिवदन जीवनदं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे योगिवञ्चित योगिवञ्चित चरणपदं वन्दे वन्दे योगिवञ्चित योगिवञ्चित चरणपदं वन्दे 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 सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे वन्दे सच्चिदानन्दं वन्दे
Kindly be seated. How can we begin a celebration without thanking the God Almighty? तुम्ही हो माता पिता तुम्ही हो बंधु सखा तुम्ही हो, जो खिल सके ना वो फूल हम हैं, तुम्हारी चरणों की धूल हम हैं. May I request Priyankur Bose, Vice President, St. Xavier's University, Kolkata Alumni Association, to deliver the welcome address. Mr. Priyankur Bose.
Good morning, Father President, Reverend Father John Felix Raj, our chief guest for the day, Professor Subhajyoti Chattopadhyay, Vice Chancellor, Sister Nivedita University, Professor Father Pro Vice Chancellor, Reverend Father Sebasti L. Raj, Professor Ashish Mitra, Registrar, St. Xavier's University, Kolkata, respected fathers and sisters, respected deans, distinguished guests, faculty members, alumni, alumnae, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to extend a warm welcome to you today as we have gathered for the release of the book Waves, a story bank authored by our very own Reverend Father John Felix Raj. Today is also a very special day for the St. Xavier's family as we celebrate the feast of our patron saint, St. Francis Xavier, and we believe that it is the most appropriate day for the launch of the book authored by someone who is not only very dear to us, but is also our leader and mentor. We are grateful to Professor Dhrubajyoti Chattopadhyay, an eminent academician and Vice Chancellor, Sister Nivedita University, for being with us here today and making the occasion even more special and memorable. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, sir. Waves is a collection of stories, and as Father has said, every story that he has compiled is a wave from the sea of his heart. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that Father Felix Raj is a man with a golden heart. Father has always been an inspiration, not only for the thousands of his students like me, who have had the honor of studying under his guidance, but it would be no exaggeration to say that every person who interacts with Father is enriched. I therefore believe that the waves will act as a medium of inspiration for thousands of readers in India and abroad. When Father decided to compile this book, he could have asked any publisher of national or international repute to have published the book, and they would have instantaneously obliged. In fact, I wouldn't have been surprised to have seen publishers lining up outside the Vice Chancellor's office to seek an appointment. But Father, being the person he is, decided to give this honor to St. Xavier's University Kolkata Alumni Association. Father, thank you for this honor. It just shows how much you love us. Father has always believed in giving space to the alumni. He has always promoted the alumni culture and considers the alumni to be an integral part of the family. It was under Father's leadership and guidance that St. Xavier's University Kolkata Alumni Association came into existence in January this year after the first batch of students passed out last year. With the second batch of students passing out this year, we are now having over 600 members. With Father's leadership and the support of our well-wishers, we hope to reach greater heights in the days to come. I would like to thank and extend a very warm welcome to everyone present here and to all those joining us virtually via social media. Thank you for your encouraging presence. A very warm welcome to St. Xavier's University, Kolkata. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyankar, Vice President, St. Xavier's University, Kolkata Alumni Association. December 3rd, 2020 will go down in the history of St. Xavier's University, Kolkata as a red letter day. I am overwhelmed with joy and satisfaction to announce the launch of the 10th edition of a book penned down by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. John Felix Raj, entitled Waves Story Bank. It is my honor and privilege to urge Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Dhrubajyoti Chattopadhyay, to kindly release the book officially. May I request the congregation to give a standing ovation to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. John Felix Raj, for his remarkable contribution. Father is indeed a stamp in the field of academics. Xaverian, kindly be seated. Xaverian family is humbled to present a copy of the book to our chief guest. Sir, we are doubly blessed by your gracious presence. Now, may I call upon our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. Sebasti L. Raj to please come on stage to receive a copy of the book from Professor Dr. Dhrupajyoti Chattopadhyay, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sister Nivedita University, on behalf of the Jesuit community. Father, please. I would like to request our respected registrar, Professor Ashish Mitro, to please come forward to receive a copy of the book from Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Dhrupajyoti Chattopadhyay, on behalf of the university. Thank you, sir. I also take this opportunity in reaching out to people who have made a great difference on this occasion. I would like to call upon Reverend Dr. John Romas, Father Devraj Fernandez, Professor Partho Mukherjee, and Mr. Snehashish to please come forward and receive a copy of Waves Story Bank from our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. John Felix Raj. Can I have Reverend Dr. John Romas, Father Devraj Fernandez, Professor Partho Mukherjee, and Mr. Snehashish on stage, please? Thank you, Father Romas, Father Devraj, and Mr. Snehashish. We appreciate your unwavering support. We have all been waiting anxiously for that great moment. I would like to appeal to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. John Felix Raj, to enlighten us about the book that has been released on this auspicious day.
Thank you, Mario. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dhrupajyoti Chattopadhyay of Sister Nivedita University, Father Sebasti Raj, our Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Ashish Mitra, our Registrar, Deans, Fathers, Sisters, faculty members, distinguished guests, and my dear friends. I always believe that an inspiration occurs unexpectedly at any moment. I want to give you two examples. It was in 2010 that a couple of alumni members of St. Xavier's College, 3-4 of them are here. We have Snehashish, we have Azan, we have Bobby Vishash. We paid a visit to St. Paul's High School, Ragapur. While talking to some of the teachers there, the teacher who is now the principal of the school, she told me, Father, what about starting St. Xavier's College here? Because our children have to go all the way by auto, cycle, bus, spend per day about 50 rupees, and up and down 100 rupees. It's so difficult. And there are only few of them who could afford to do that. So that was the thought. It clicked. And we said, why don't we think about it? So the alumni sat together, reflected on it, thought about it, and we finally decided that it is good to open an extension center of St. Xavier's College, Park Street. Today you see about 600 students studying in St. Xavier's College, Ragapur. If St. Xavier's branch Ragapur was not there, I don't think so many students could have availed the facilities of studying in a college, and about 85% are girls. This is the great wonder. It's a miracle, in fact. And so this is what happened. And the second one, we were in 2012, January, sitting on the stage for convocation. Till then, we never thought that we should start a university, St. Xavier's University. While having a chat, the Honorable Chief Minister was there. She just got an idea and said, why don't you start a university? You've been here for the last 150 years now. What about starting a university? I said, I think Jesuit fathers would be glad to do it if only you give land. Oh, write to me, ask me, I'll give you land. This is how it happened. And I must add a third dimension to it. This book is a result of something like that. Father Devraj had come here some time ago for his PhD admission. So while I was sitting in my office having a chat, must be about 2 years ago, we said, let's have a column for stories in the Herald. So that's how 2 years ago I began writing every week a small story in the Herald. Almost 2 years, so after 75 stories were over, there were some inspirations like Snashes who kept writing to me after every story. This is this dimension and that dimension, it's so beautiful, it's so wonderful. And so this inspired me and said, why not put together all these stories? I've almost come to 86 stories so far. But now we put the 75 stories in a book form. Stories of different types. Stories of individuals, stories of incidents, stories of history, stories from different religions, different religious leaders, anecdotes. Inspirational stories, stories with message. And so I try to give at the end of every story a small little message. And this is how it began. That was a journey. And so I want to thank all these people who have been source of support and inspiration. And Father Romos, who kept said, this is a wonderful story, that is another story, who came out with a little caption at the back cover of the story. Some people said, this is something beautiful that is written. And so this is how the journey began, and this is how that this book became a reality. And I want to thank all these people who contributed towards making up this book. Each story, as I call it, is a wave. Because I remember some years ago standing on the seashore and just observing. And I used to say this little story of a salt doll. It's a familiar, famous story for me. It gives tremendous amount of meaning to life. And so it's one of the stories in the book and also the story part of it in the introduction. And a story that it's a salt doll watching the sea, the great multi-ocean, And the waves, are waves that are consistent, constantly. It's a process of each wave coming to the shore and embracing the shore, embracing the sand, and taking part of the shore with itself. And so this, in fact, is an example of a deep relationship that is built. And that's how these stories give meaning to life. And so today, I encountered some years ago as a principal a trinity in Calcutta University. A trinity is the Vice Chancellor, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, and the Registrar. Vice Chancellor was Professor Suranjan Das, who was supposed to be with us, but due to ill health, he couldn't make it, and Professor Durgajyoti Chattopadhyay, who was the Pro-Vice Chancellor, and the Registrar Basav Chaudhary, who is now the Vice Chancellor of West Bengal State University. So all these three were in Kolkata University as a trinity administering the university. And I happen to be, I think, the principal of St. Xavier's College. So all four of us now are Vice Chancellors. Okay? Two of them are Vice Chancellor of state universities and two of us are Vice Chancellor of private universities. We meet occasionally and share. We were good friends and had a great support because I was the only one in the college and these three were in the university. So some great support for the college. And so I wanted all the three of them to be here on this occasion. And Professor Suranjan Das agreed to write the foreword to the book. But he could not make it, nor Professor Basav Chaudhary, because he was here just a few days ago and he said, I don't want to frequent due to COVID-19 situation. So I understood. So finally we have one of the trinity, that is Professor Durgajyoti Chattopadhyay, who happens to be just next to us of Sister Nivedita University. And I want to take this opportunity to express our gratitude, personal gratitude to you for being with us this morning to launch this book. I also want to thank Vice Chancellor's Office staff members, our Registrar, and Registrar's Office staff members who've been doing. I didn't present a copy of the book to them, then I have to present to all of them. And so I said only to these couple of people who are from outside and have been a source of strength, but to us, of course, all the copies belong to them. I want to thank them for their constant support, help, and in doing the nitty-gritties of producing this book, having with the press, publishers. There is a person whom I cannot forget, the printer, the publisher himself. That is Mr. Nilesh Patel. Nilesh Patel has been with us for the last 25, 30 years. I think he's here. Nilesh, are you there? Yes. Nilesh took up voluntarily in printing this book and said, give me, this is a challenge, I'll do it. And so he has done. I like that cover page. The cover page was, of course, done by a small artist, one of our own old students, an young boy of just 22 or 23, who could not be present here. So he did that presentation of the salt doll on the seashore. And so I'm grateful to these people for their hard work and then making this dream into a reality. I also want to thank some of those who, of course, don't want to be mentioned here, who have sort of sponsored this book, who said, we will sponsor it. And finally, the Alumni Association. I'm a bit sad because Vatsal Chirimar could not be present this morning. Vatsal Chirimar is the Honorary Secretary of the Alumni Association. Very dedicated boy. The first official Secretary of the Alumni Association. Just happened to be, I think, sick just since from yesterday. And so, but I want to thank him. I want to thank his team of office bearers. Some of them are here, the Vice President here, Secretary or the Joint Secretary is here. And I want to thank them for being a source of support and even agreeing to publish this book. So many have involved in the process of bringing out this book, and I want to thank. And I also want to thank the community of St. Xavier's University, the Jesuit fathers. They may not be directly involved in it, but they always, I fall back. I have to live with them. I have to take their source of support and inspiration. That's a community that I belong primarily. So I want to thank all the fathers being here and also being an inspiration and support all through. So the work is ours. The work continues on a day, and an auspicious day like this of St. Francis Xavier's feast. We are together as one community and we march ahead. Everything that we do belongs to us. Everything that we do, we are the miracle workers. Everything that we do, we are responsible. This alumni association, I'm sure, will grow because we have made every student who passes through the portals of St. Xavier's University mandatorily to become a member of the alumni association. And so we have 600. Next year we may have 1,300, and it will keep growing to greater numbers. And the Alumni Association, as one of the stakeholders, will always be the backbone, the support of the institution, as it happens in St. Xavier's College. We have the former secretaries here, we have Hassan, we have Snehashish, we don't have office bearers, not anybody else. So, yeah, GP is there, of course. GP is part of us. GP is always there. So I want to thank all those alumni members of St. Xavier's College because it is they who are at the background giving us the support. Thank you very much. It's a teamwork, and the teamwork will continue to be there. Thank you, and God bless all of you. Thank you so much.
Father, thank you so much for those words of wisdom. Xaverian family shall always cherish your variegated contribution. Today morning, I was privileged to be a part of the celebration in the chapel. Father has mentioned during his sermon that he was inspired by FBI. So Father was inspired by FBI, not the FBI of the United States, but the F stands for Francis Xavier, B stands for Father Brito, and I stands for St. Ignatius of Loyola. So Father, we pray that you are inspired in the days to come, and may we enjoy the fruit of your inspiration in the days to come. Thank you so much, Father. Professor Dr. Dhrupajyoti Chattopadhyay, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sister Nivedita University, is undoubtedly a man of substance. Basically, he needs no introduction. But even then, it is my honor to introduce this personality to our audience here. He was the founder, Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Kolkata. Professor Chattopadhyay has a wide teaching and research experience for nearly 4 decades. He has traveled to some of the well-known universities in the United States and Japan during his quest for quality research. He has earned numerous recognition both nationally and internationally. Professor Dr. Chattopadhyay is a scientist and academic par excellence. I would like to sum up Professor Chattopadhyay in this quote, and I quote, "A good teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way for others." May I appeal his good self to share his thoughts on this momentous occasion. Professor Dr. Chattopadhyay, please.
Very good morning to all of you. Today is a great day. Already mentioned that the auspicious day for which all of us are feeling great. It's a very important day for St. Xavier's College and University. Let me first thank Mario for giving such an introduction, but I know him for a long time. Reverend Father, Vice Chancellor, and a very, very good friend of mine, Father Felix. Reverend Father Sebastian, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, and also another a long, I should say, a friend of long association, Professor Ashish Mitra, and we have gone through so many ups and downs while we are in Calcutta University. The Vice President of the Alumni Association, Priyankar Bose, the other Reverend Fathers, Sisters, faculty members, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very interesting day for me because Father started his lecture with two incidents, 10, 12, 2010 and 2012. And you know that some of us at that time, I was a governing body member as a representative of the Calcutta University. And in the governing body, we have actually discussed a lot about this. And from 12 to 15, we have a lot of discussions regarding the university, and there are lots of things which are coming up. But Father, when you were mentioning about this Raghupur campus, all the members are in front of a very big question that how successful it's going to be. But I think it is because of you and the St. Xavier's fraternity, this whole extension center in Raghupur becoming a moral center. Because rightly mentioned by Father that the 600 students who are present at the time now, many of them may not get the opportunity to actually be in the higher education. And 85% of them are girls. It's amazing. So it's such a strong decision and a successful one. I think we should all actually thank the leadership of Reverend Father. Let us be great, and for that we are really very, very happy. And in 2012, when this particular discussion is taking up and then came to the governing body, I think Shantanu was actually from the government part who is participating in our discussions also in setting up what's going to be the nature. But just find it out, the second success. And that successful story is right now, the dream comes reality. I'm just mentioning this morning to Father, every couple of months after I visit this campus, I could see the huge expansion. And I'm sure that if it goes like this, it is going to be one of the best institutions of not only India, but internationally also. So these are the success stories, and these success stories are actually given Father a huge amount of experiences. And in the meantime, he started to actually get the things noted down in the stories. And the stories, when it reaches 75, not 100, 75, certain thing happened. Though it is now 86, but this book is actually having 75 stories as mentioned by Father. So, in this cutthroat competition of today, wherein people say life is a race, and we go on becoming so-called professionals, we simply run for better life, better earnings, and while doing so, somewhere we forget our basic guiding principles which we were taught in our schools. As a teacher, I feel this unwarranted run for betterment is actually sometimes running for the worse. I'm sure, as Father Felix Raj would also agree with me, that in this run of being the best, somewhere quality is being affected. Waves come into play in that place to make us remember the basic guiding principles of life. Now, improvement is not bad. People should be ambitious, but not at the cost of diluting of one's own quality. Each one should have a core value chain, a set of values which cannot be compromised upon. I'd like to share one fact which will show how we as parents are also changing our attitude during this timeline. As a teacher, I have a wonderful opportunity to interact with students from various communities. Earlier, students approached with problems. Parents came to me with questions like that how good is going to be the subject or understanding the domain. Interestingly, now parents ask the same question but a completely different perspective. They ask the prospect of a particular course, but in respect of the CTC, the cost of to company, how much a student can earn from a particular course. So it's not what he is going to actually get the knowledge from the course, it is how much he will earn from the course. Today, we focus on a course more in terms of earning than learning. Money is not the sole factor. Obviously, financial freedom is important, but then again, student has to understand that companies will not give huge package or in today's generation Stappleboard a big CTC just like that. Now, when I am going through the book, actually, the book explains the morals of the life in the story format. Father mentioned it already. That 75 stories now become 86. These morals or the stories make you remember that value chain which makes a life successful. Stories like Jackson's wanted to live for 150 years shows us that we have a finite time in this world. We don't know ourselves that when we will be having to call it a day in this beautiful planet. The basic purpose of life, therefore, is to make the best of it. As truly reflected in the story, Last Wishes of Alexander the Great. Wealth, status, and all worldly matters will cease to exist after we take a break from this world. The only thing that will remain is our impression on other people, our good deeds, our good sense of bliss, which touched my inner God. The book is a reservoir of good thoughts, awakening thoughts, I would say, to make us realize the true purpose of life. In my profession as a teacher, I always tell my students, be a good human being. I always believe in the core value chain and preach them the same way. Now, recently, I happened to look on a video in WhatsApp which shows a research that was undertaken on patients who were in their deathbeds. All of them had the same confession. These confessions were not materialistic, but spiritualistic. This is what we all realize when we know that time has come to an end for us. I hear numerous cases of suicides, depressions, and other things which can be traced back to one single factor: lack of quality of life. The book summarizes various lessons of life, various shades of life through beautiful stories. Stories like partnership with God are actually what we tend to do. We never thank the Almighty for the wonderful gifts he has given to us. Rather, we become greedier. The primary objective of life is to stay simple and be humble at all cost. If we notice all successful people, we will see that they all share the same traits because they know these qualities actually make them great. Lastly, I must say, this book teaches you on the ultimate objectives of life. Each life has an objective, and the only thing is to learn what the objective is. As I was reading the book, I happened to say a few lines dedicated to Father Anthony, the maternal uncle of Dr. Felix. Has he surrendered to the forces of nature and admitted that his eye defect will lead him to blindness, which is incurable, he could find an objective of his life, leading him to learn the ways to serve the blind and differently abled. This requires a huge courage to stand up and face your difficulty and then turn that difficulty into a strength. This is the sole essence of life. This book teaches us all these lessons through various stories I'm mentioning all the time. And real-time incidents, like the story in the same boat rowing in different directions, which depict the friendship of three friends, Mr. E. Sridharan, Mr. T. N. Sheshan, and Sri K. P. Unnikrishnan. I thank the entire team for their untiring effort in publishing these stories in book format, which has added another feature to Father Felix Raj, already plumbed cap and is versatile as he is in all his work. I strongly feel under his able leadership and vision, St. Xavier's University will grow in leaps and bounds. I really feel myself honored to be a part of this wonderful event. Thank you, everybody. Namaskar.
So thank you so much for those words of wisdom. It is now my honor to propose the vote of thanks to this August gathering, both online as well as offline, as some of you are already watching that on Facebook as well as on YouTube. The entire program is being streamed. We are delighted by the gracious presence of Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sister Nivedita University, Professor Dr. Dhruva Chattopadhyay. So thanks a ton for taking out time from your busy schedule and making this event so colorful and meaningful. We are indebted to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. John Felix Raj, for giving St. Xavier's University, Kolkata Alumni Association an opportunity to formally launch his masterpiece on the feast of St. Francis Xavier, our patron. Your master craftsmanship shall inspire our budding authors to spread the light of knowledge. Father, we shall remain grateful to you forever. We are thankful to our Honorable Pro-Vice Chancellor, respected Registrar, Deans, and Fathers for their perpetual support and guidance. I'm elated to appraise the August gathering that the event was conceptualized by Mr. Vatsal Chiriman, Secretary, St. Xavier's University, Kolkata Alumni Association, and his committed team members under the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. John Felix Raj, as well as a special thanks to Priyamkur for stepping in at the 9th hour to make the absence of Vatsal being felt by the August gathering. Thank you, Priyamkur. Mr. G.P. Gupta, our liaison officer and all-rounder of our university, not Rahul Dravid, orchestrated the entire program for us, led by an army of staff with full of zeal and enthusiasm. Sir, you have made us proud. Thank you so much. We are grateful to Reverend Dr. John Romas, Father Devraj Fernandez, Mr. Snehashish Shur, and of course Professor Parthu Mukherjee, who couldn't make it for various reasons, for their uninterrupted support in making this milestone event a success. So let's put our hands together for them. I wish to extend my heartiest thanks to senior alumni members of St. Xavier's College Calcutta Alumni Association for their constant support and encouragement, and some of them are already with us in this August gathering. Thank you so much. I would like to extend a special thanks to Mr. Molai Mitru, Head IT, and his folks Shudeep, Obhishek, German, Joy, and Shondeep for effective delivery of the proceedings in the social media platform, because that is the technology which is basically the call of the new normals. Thank you so much. My heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the media fraternity. Your kind presence will surely help us to disseminate the words of wisdom everywhere. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion. We wish to put on record the tireless job undertaken by Mr. Nilesh Patel and his team for timely printing of this wonderful book. I shall fail in my duty if I do not extend my sincere thanks to the wonderful audience, both online and offline. Your kind presence has enhanced the aura of this wonderful event. St. Xavier's University, Kolkata wishes you and your loved ones good health and happiness. We have put up a book stall outside the hall for you to procure a copy of the book at a special discounted rate, and our colleagues shall be assisting you. Just after this event, I would urge the dignitaries to please join us for the tea, as well as the august audience. So stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you, one and all. Nihil Ultra. So kindly rise when the dignitaries are leaving the dais.
She wants